For 10th, severe weather hits to our north. A man dies after a tree crashes onto his truck.
Plus, snowfall hits double digits in some areas, stopping traffic and stopping flights. We'll tell you how this treacherous snow leaves many stranded.
And a family grateful after receiving a home, how they were struggling to make ends meet.
And finally, our own Barmount Lions is live in downtown Macon to bring us the latest on temperatures and get some advice from our meteorologist, Daniel McFarland.
Thanks for waking up with us on this Monday morning. I'm Rick Devins.
And I'm Victoria DeCardenas. And before we get started on this Monday morning, we want to take a look at our weather.
Well, we mentioned the man himself, meteorologist Daniel McFarland, standing by. Daniel, what do we need to know before we take on our work week?
Well, I don't think I need to remind you guys it's chilly out there. That's the big thing that we're going to be seeing throughout the day as well. No real big changes there. So I do want to go ahead and show you a quick look outside. And where I want to show you right now is going to be one spot.
Severe weather is to blame for a weekend fatality in North Carolina. The Matthews Police Department says a tree fell on top of a vehicle as it was approaching an intersection. Now that car kept moving after it was hit, striking a local church before coming to a complete stop in a nearby yard, leaving one person in that vehicle dead.
Just coming down south on East John Street, and another vehicle was coming down north, and I saw a tree come down, smash the top of the car, and the car, the other vehicle just, from it, I assume they went full speed off the sidewalk and eventually stopped by hitting a tree.
A passenger in that car was taken to an area hospital with what are believed to be non-life-threatening injuries.
Snow is falling hard in Asheville and other parts of western North Carolina, and it doesn't look like it'll stop until later this morning. This was the scene Saturday night in Asheville. You can already see that snow starting to stick to the ground, to vehicles, to trees. The National Weather Service says about 8 to 12 inches of snow could hit Asheville before all said and done, while more northern areas could see as much as 1.5 feet of that flaky white stuff. Forecasters expect this snow to be accompanied by high winds, and that could impact power in the area. And snowy roads in Virginia as this car drives down the road. A snowstorm leaves a blanket of snow that's creating treacherous driving conditions around the state, and it's happening in North Carolina too, where their Governor Roy Cooper warns people to stay inside.
The State Highway Patrol has responded to more than 500 crashes just since midnight. Our troopers are ready to help you, but don't make us have to.
Well, winter is in full form down in southwestern Oklahoma, where a few inches of snow fell on Saturday. Ian Smith was in England and spoke with local residents.
Trying to keep the driveway from freezing up and shoveling the snow out of the driveway so people and myself can actually drive through it.
Bobby Floyd is hard at work. Some parts of the state, a winter wonderland. He was expecting ice.
Instead, we got snow, which really makes...
That's right. Snow can be fun, yet dangerous. There's been double-digit snowfall amounts, leaving treacherous conditions and power outages in the wake of a massive winter storm. In Virginia, passengers are left sitting around at Richmond International Airport, stranded, having to wait or even stay overnight due to weather severity. Now listen to what one passenger had to say about that wait.
It is the weather, and probably half the people are irritated about the fact that they can't get their luggage in an immediate sense of urgency, and other people understand it's the weather. You can't predict it.
We'll continue following details on those flights out this morning.
A West Virginia middle school teacher and former Miss Kentucky bonded out of jail. 28-year-old Ramsey Bears accused of sending nude photos to a 15-year-old who's a former student at the school she teaches at. Detectives say she admitted to sending those photos. The school suspended her, and prosecutors have charged her with felony distribution of obscene material to a minor. Now, court records do show she admitted to sending the pictures, but her lawyer is maintaining her innocence.
I have no comment to make to you all at this time.
We understand the public interest in this matter, but I'm sure that all of you also understand this is a very difficult day, and this is a shock to her and to me and everyone else.
You do maintain her innocence then?
Of course.
The judge ordered Bears to not have any contact with children. She's due back in court December 17th.
An elderly Florida woman had to be hospitalized after she was run over by a car during a robbery, and the whole thing was caught on camera. But we do want to warn you, this video may be difficult to watch. Security footage from inside of a Florida McDonald's shows a man in a white baseball cap and maroon shirt approach the elderly woman from behind. He reaches over her right shoulder and grabs her Coach purse. Then that man sprints out of the door into the waiting car with the woman chasing after him. She opens the driver's side of the door, but the suspect backs up, dragging her, knocking her to the ground, and then running her over. They say they were struggling to survive. Now the people at Houston County Habitat for Humanity have changed this family's life forever. The Rivera family says they can't even express how excited they are to be able to spend their first Christmas in a home that's all theirs.
They are deserving, else they wouldn't have the house. So if they have children, they'll grow up here in a nice environment and become productive citizens in the future.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Habitat for Humanity, for helping me. And this is it's a little, but it's my castle.
If you or someone you know is in need of a home, go to our website, wgxa.tv, to see if you qualify through the Habitat for Humanity program. Well, the plunge at the pump could soon come to an end. That's what AAA spokesman Mark Jenkins says. Pump prices are close to catching up with the recent crude price plunge. However, oil prices are also beginning to increase. Now, the Sunday state average was $2.22. That's about 7 cents less than a week ago. The average price in Georgia has declined for the past 58 consecutive days for a total discount of 59 cents. Now, according to AAA, drivers should continue to enjoy low gas prices through the end of the year unless prices suddenly spike.
The Main Street Macon Christmas extravaganza continues. Downtown Macon businesses that we spoke to say the lights can be a big boost to business. Andrew Gates works at Parish Louisiana Cafe and says they've already seen a spike in business since the lights have come to downtown.
I think it helps everybody, like exponentially and financially and everything. Everybody's happy during Christmas time in downtown Macon.
But I think on top of that, what really helps is having events that really kind of promote, hey, come downtown, do this, fun things. For instance, last night there was the tacky Christmas bar crawl, which we were involved with, and we were packed out.
And while the money made helps contribute to the downtown businesses, it could also potentially produce more jobs and sales tax revenue for Bibb County.
Ooh, my favorite is that one.
The Secret Santa shop is now open at the Museum of Arts and Sciences. Staff help children pick out gifts for their family members, and the store makes shopping easy for kids, whether they come in the doors with their parents or alone. Christy Ussery with the museum says children leave with a lesson about what this season is really about.
I think it's very important for children to understand that giving helps them to be selfless, and it gives them a sense of being able to make their friends and their family happy.
Everything in the shop is wrapped, and the presents are anywhere from $1 to $10. Santa's Secret Shop going to be open until December 23rd for their hours of operation. You can check out our website, wgxa.tv.
Very, very cool.
Another very cool idea from Macon's Museum of Arts and Sciences. If you haven't been, check it out. One of my favorite places in Middle Georgia. And you can go there when it's cold. Daniel, we're looking for locations like that because it seems like the cold is around to stay.
Yeah, it's going to be here for a few more days, guys. Even though it's going to be sunnier tomorrow and Wednesday, it's still only going to have a high in the 50s. Before I talk more about that, let's go ahead and start you off with a quick look outside at downtown Macon through the Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. You can see all the clouds we're starting off with today, and roads are still wet out there.
You're watching WGXA Morning News here on Fox 24. Double-digit snowfall amounts, treacherous driving conditions, and power outages. That's what's left in the wake of a massive winter storm that pummeled parts of the southeast with hours and inches of snow. Omar Jimenez has more.
A dire description of winter weather.
North Carolina is in the cold, icy grip of a mammoth winter storm.
The state's governor, Roy Cooper, declaring a state of emergency as snow, sleet, and ice have blanketed the Tar Heel state, and warning residents to stay home, not to be fooled by the beauty and the snowfall.
Snow and ice can make the scene outside your window look like a holiday card. But don't be fooled. This storm is treacherous, especially if you try to drive it.
Well, snow, snow, and more snow in North Carolina. These Good Samaritans helping some people out by shoveling all that snow, helping to try push that car that was stuck in there. Probably not a fun thing to do over the weekend.
Helping each other out in the snow. It's good to have neighbors. Well, FEMA trailers have arrived in Corning, California. They're not dealing with snow there, just the aftermath of all those wildfires we've been covering. And 10 FEMA trailers were brought to the Rolling Hills Casino RV Park Saturday. They're going to serve as temporary housing for campfire evacuees. Officials stressed no current guests of the RV park are going to be asked to give up their spots to make room for these trailers. The campfire burned more than 150,000 acres after it broke out November 8th. It was finally contained November 25th after becoming the deadliest wildfire in California history. 2 additional FEMA trailers were expected to arrive in Corning this week.
We're continuing coverage over that severe winter weather that's taken place, and our sister station, WLOS, got a first look at how bad the weather's gotten.
We're in McDowell County, North Carolina right now. That's about an hour east of Asheville, North Carolina, and the snow just keeps falling. It started last night around 11 and continues on. We've seen about a foot.
And take a look at this. A woman out of Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, went all the way to North Carolina with her dog just to play in the snow. Although certain areas in that state may see up to 8 inches, that hasn't stopped this woman's journey with her dog.
I've lived in Florida for 10 years, and I haven't seen the snow in 10 years. And I know she has never seen it before, so I wanted to bring her up, and we're going to play in it tomorrow.
Well, it's very chilly to start off your day. Right now, we're down into the 30s across a lot of the spots here in Middle Georgia. Even Americus is very close, starting off at about 43 degrees. Now, one big thing I want to point out for the day.
And Perry Smith sending us in a beautiful picture as he makes his way down the highway. The skies are open up, a little piece of manifest destiny here in Middle Georgia.
Yeah, thanks, Perry, for sending in your photo. And if you want to send in your photos, go to WGXA.tv/chime in, upload your photos, or use our free WGXA News app. Click the Explore tab, scroll down to chime in, then you can see your photos on air and online.
And check this out. This is a live look right now at Charlotte, North Carolina, where they've gotten some snow. A heavy traffic time in Charlotte. It's definitely going to be havoc making your commute there. You can be glad that you're here in Middle Georgia, where things are going to be a lot simpler on those roadways. Am I right, Daniel?
I think it is going to be quite a bit simpler, Rick, out there to start off today. It's just going to be wet, not nearly icy at all because temperatures are not cold enough for that right now. We're down to the upper 30s, and we've been following all these stories nationally, and we do want to talk about what we're looking at here locally. So that's why we sent out our own Barmel Alliance to let us know how exactly it's feeling out there and what you need to take outside. So Barmel, do you think you need a hat, gloves, heavy jacket today? What do you think since you've been outside?
Well, Daniel, I'm here in downtown Macon, and it is very chilly. I mean, I'm bundled up. I see some people right there. They're bundled up. So, I mean, definitely if you're walking downtown, if you're going to go about your day, make sure you put on some layers. I don't have gloves, but right now I'm not like an icicle right now. So gloves, definitely put it on for precaution's sake, but you won't freeze if you don't. But it's important that you put safety first and have those layers on. One thing I do want to note is all this weekend, it was cold, miserable, rainy. We've experienced a lot of rain coming in. So Daniel, this week, are we going to see that?
Not for the whole week, but these temperatures are going to be chilly for today. We should warm up a bit for tomorrow, at least during the afternoon, but our low tomorrow night might even be in the 20s. So I would say even go a step further tomorrow night compared to what you're doing today. But I know out there it's kind of been wet because of all the rain we had last night. Have you felt any drizzle so far this morning since you've been outside?
Oh, definitely, for sure. I've been feeling drizzles throughout the morning. Right now, it's sort of like a light little fan of rain. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's nothing super major or significant. But throughout the morning, I have been seeing drizzles of rain. Now, one thing I also want to note, we've been covering nationally the winter storms and the craziness happening right now in North Carolina with not only cars being stopped on the roads, but flights being delayed and stopped as well. So here in Macon, Georgia, in middle Georgia to be more specific, are we going to see any type of snow?
I don't think we're going to see snow anytime soon. We are going to see some more rain moving in on Friday, but our temperatures at that point in time are going to be way too warm for any kind of snow. But I do want to say we're expecting a lot more rain and any kind of precipitation later this winter, so it's certainly a possibility, just not possible over the next couple weeks with the way we're starting off.
Gotcha. So rain, you guys, is going to be coming this week. That's what Daniel said. And it's going to be cold, so make sure you put on those layers and put on a raincoat, even some rain boots while you're at it, okay? Right now, again, I'm in downtown Macon. The streets haven't been, it's starting to get a little bit busy. As you can see, cars are going past.
Thank you, Barmel and Daniel. And an estimated 60 million people in the United States live in areas designated as rural. Well, today's number of the day takes a closer look at where a large percentage reside. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 64% of Americans living in rural settings are located east of the Mississippi River. The term rural includes less populated towns outside of both large and small cities, along with remote areas such as mountains, plains, and deserts. Both Maine and Vermont have the highest percentage of people living in rural areas at an estimated 61%, while California has the lowest at just under 5%. And we're going to take a look at your morning commute. We'll get you ready to take on this work week.
Plus, we're continuing coverage over the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. We'll take a look at the latest details following an investigation. Stay tuned. You're watching WGXA Morning News right here on Fox 24.